When embarking on digital transformations, most organizations have a vision of innovation, but they get lost somewhere along the way. I want to talk today about how to incorporate innovation into your digital transformation. My name is Eric Kimberling. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent consulting firm that helps clients through their digital transformation journeys. And as I mentioned, most organizations have a grand, big vision of creating more innovation within their organizations as part of their digital transformation. But what ends up happening in reality is that organizations get tripped up on just the basic technology upgrades, and they never reach that future state of being more innovative and more effective and more successful. So what I want to talk about today is how can you incorporate innovation into your digital transformation, and how can you transform your business to not be just a technology upgrade, but also a more innovative organization. So to set the context, the first thing to think about is the difference between core automation and true innovation. And that's where a lot of companies get confused, is that they think that they're doing something very innovative, but they're actually just automating the processes they already have in place. So rather than looking outside their current way of doing things, they end up implementing technology that basically helps them do broken processes faster or more effectively than they might have in the past, but the processes are still broken fundamentally. So what I want to talk about today is how can we shift our mindset from core automation to true digital innovation. So the first step in innovation typically does focus on your core. So your financials, your accounting, your inventory management, your human capital management, your sales processes. Some of those core back office processes are good places to start and where most organizations start. In many ways, it's difficult, if not impossible, to get to that point of innovation if you don't have that foundation in place. So you do want to focus on core automation, but you don't want to stop there, and you want to do that as effectively and efficiently as possible so that you have time and resources and budget and patience to get to the point where you actually get to digital innovation. When you think about core automation, though, you don't necessarily need to just focus on automating the way you've always done things. There are ways to be innovative even with your core, even when it comes to a business process as basic as your period end close, for example. That's an area where you could leverage machine learning, as an example, to automate your processes and to really give you that groundbreaking technology to help you shift gears from being a highly manual process to more of an automated process, so that you can free up resources to focus on more strategic aspects of finance, as an example. So be looking for ways that you can leverage core technologies to automate your core, but you can also be innovative in your core as well as it relates to those core ERP and financial and CRM, human capital management types of systems. Another example of core innovation would be on the human capital management side. One common source of innovation is this whole concept of employee self-service. So rather than just automating the old way of providing forms and benefits and things of that nature, vacation requests, performance reviews, rather than just automating the way you've always done things, it's an opportunity for you to create an employee portal and a self-service model to help automate that process and provide some innovation within something as simple as HR or HCM. So those are just a couple examples of ways you can be thinking about how to automate your core and not only automate it, but also be more innovative. Now, where the real game-changing innovation comes into play is when you look externally outside of your core, when you look at those customer and product-facing business processes. So for example, anything that's customer-facing is a great opportunity to look for opportunities to innovate and to make your organization stickier with your customers and your potential customers. So for example, you have CRM capabilities and technologies you could be using to help automate the processes that you use to engage with your customers and your prospects and the way you provide service to them. You also have technologies like ServiceNow or Qualtrics, which are two customer experience types of products that can help you provide better information to your customers, but also gather and capture information from your customers and really automate those workflows. So these are areas where you can really provide that true innovation and that way to really game change the way that you run your business and the way that you're structured and the way you're organized. Another example would be in the product-facing side of things. So if you are a manufacturing or an engineering-based organization, product lifecycle management types of technologies can really help you automate those processes, provide better visibility into your product design and estimated lead times and things of that nature. If you're a manufacturing organization, even some of the manufacturing technologies and the warehouse management technologies can help you provide better innovation and better information to your customers and ultimately provide better service. So again, it all goes back to thinking about how can we not just pave the cow paths and automate what we're already doing today, but how can we truly transform our business, our processes, and our technologies to help us get there. Now, if we want to take things even one step further, beyond the internal innovation, the external innovation, now we can look at the business model, just our overall business model. How are we servicing our customers? What can we be doing fundamentally differently than what we've done in the past? And this is where you can get real creative and really think outside the box of what you've done up until now. There are a lot of examples you could be looking at in the pandemic world that we're living in now. So post-pandemic, a lot of organizations were forced to innovate and forced to change the way that they operate and forced to change their business models. Something as simple as the restaurant locally that suddenly can't service customers inside their four walls. They had to figure out a way to create takeout, delivery, and other sorts of ways to reach their customers. So they had to recreate their websites, their e-commerce, all of their entire business model had to change. And that's a very micro-focused example that a lot of us can relate to in today's day and age. But it's a matter of thinking that way, hopefully in less of a crisis mode, but thinking more opportunistically about how we can totally transform our model, service our customers better, and ultimately be more efficient and effective in the ways that we leverage technology and business processes. Now, the secret sauce to making this whole innovation thing happen is not necessarily just in your business processes. It's certainly not in the technology, but what it's in is in the culture that you create. And so looking at your digital innovation from the perspective of how can we create a culture of digital innovation, not just technology and processes that help us be more innovative, but really changing the mindset of the way we think. So getting people to think outside their little silos that they might operate in, looking at ways that they can collaborate better across the organization. How can they share information better? How can they interact with and anticipate needs from customers better? All that sort of stuff are examples of ways that you want to change the way people think and change the culture of the organization. And again, just putting the processes and tools in place isn't enough. You need to change the way people think. So that's where organizational change management comes into play. And that's where you really want to deliberately think about how you want to change your business processes and change your culture and really change the people in the way that you've operated in the past. And now for more information on this, I encourage you to download our Guide to Organizational Change Management. We include a number of best practices on how to change your culture, as well as how to manage change organizationally in general. I've included links to that below, so I encourage you to check that out. But in general, these are some of the things you should be thinking about as it relates to a culture of innovation. So I hope this has given you some ideas to think about as you embark on your transformation journey and your journey towards more innovation. And I encourage you to really think long and hard about how it is that you want to innovate. What are some of the ways that you could innovate and really change your business model, change the way people think, change the culture, change the technologies and the processes that support that, and really look at the entire big picture of how we're embedding innovation within our organization. So for more information on this and other digital transformation and business transformation topics, I've included a number of links below that are meant to give you some more guidance. So I hope you found this information helpful and hope you have a great day.